So, hey everyone, Binchial here, and we're gonna go shopping. And what I mean by going shopping, we're gonna help a friend out, and we're actually gonna give him a call right now. So give me just a moment here, and we're gonna talk to my buddy Ian. So give me just a moment, and we're gonna get him on the phone. And we're gonna have them get on YouTube, and so you can watch us. Give me a second, and I'll explain right now.
Hello.
What's up, Ian?
What's up?
You got to get on YouTube, buddy. Okay, because we're gonna do your shopping list live. That way you can follow along, write everything down, and you know exactly what you're gonna be getting for your build. Okay. So,
Sounds good.
all right. So again, we're trying to go around 300 horsepower or more, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And right now you're going to stick with the KO4, but you're going to be upgrading down the road to a bigger turbo, right?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So get on YouTube, get on my channel, and start watching live, and then use the chat room to respond back to me if you have any questions. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
I'm turning my computer on right now.
All right, man. We'll see you in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye. All right. So that was Ian. Again, he's the guy that I'm going to be helping build this this car or engine. So we're going to get to work. We're going to start shopping. So for all you guys tuning in, thank you. Now, for someone asking why ECS, we're not using ECS to buy stuff from. We're using ECS to make our shopping list. Since ECS uses actually OEM parts and sometimes better stuff, like good aftermarket stuff like Victor Renz or Phoebe or Erling, which are like the really, really good aftermarket brands, it's hard to go somewhere else. I know it's kind of weird or backwards talking, but they have good stuff. And that's what makes them kind of work for me, okay? So what's going on, everybody? What's going on? So thank you for tuning in. Again, so this is about shopping to build a big turbo 1.8T to make your block solid, getting the right components and everything. Now, there's two websites you guys want to keep in mind. We're using ECS Tuning as a reference site, so you guys get part numbers. Because what's really cool, if you see right over here, they give you the manufacturer part number here, plus the ECS Tuning part number, which allows you guys to help you shop. Okay, ECS Tuning is actually really good. It's a good place. Euro Tuning is also a very, very good place to shop. FCP Euro is also another good company to shop for, but they don't make it easy to find parts. It's not very intuitive. ECS Tuning has been doing it the longest, and that's why I give them credit, because they make good stuff. Their site makes sense. Give me just a second. So yeah, it's one of those things. Is like, what should I do? I don't know. So just bear with me. Now, the second website we have is going to be Integrated Engineering. Integrated Engineering is where you're going to do all your big boy parts in your motor. Okay, so first we're going to do ECS Tuning. Not for all the parts, but mostly for the gaskets. ECS Tuning has all the gaskets that you can dream of, that you need. So it's what makes a big difference. Oh wow, I actually made money. $4.09. Thank you, Tiny. I didn't even know I can actually take money. This is the first time I've ever done streaming this way. So thank you. Okay, so back to what we were doing. So the ECS tuning, again, we're gonna make a shopping list. What's up going on? What's going on, Robert? We're gonna make a shopping list for Ian so he can know what you guys know what to put in his engine once it's actually going into the assembly process. So let's get to work. So first things first, when you take your engine apart, we need to work on internals, internal parts. What do we need to worry about? So what gaskets are very, very important. So we're not factoring in the turbo or anything like that. We're factoring just the engine block. Okay, guys? So let's work with the head first. So for your cylinder head, we're going to click on cylinder head. Now, Erling and Victor Renz and obviously Volkswagen are the three brands that I personally recommend, mainly because they are OEM equivalent or better. So that matters a lot, okay? And the reason why I say that, when you're going to get into high horsepower applications, you want something to either meet or destroy manufacturer specifications. And Victor Renz is what I use personally, which is this brand right here. You guys see this? This is just a head gasket. Erling makes a head gasket kit, which is actually a very, very good one. But we're going to look inside this head gasket kit and see what comes included, because it does matter. A lot of times you can only buy just a head gasket. That means you have a lot of other stuff to shop for, which is not very good. So we want to shop for more. How's it going, Connor? What's going on? So we want to make it a complete setup, but let's see what comes in your head gasket kit by Erling. So in this kit, if we go scroll down here, comes with the head gasket, the exhaust manifold gasket, the intake manifold gasket, stem seals, which is super important, the coolant flange. Now that's a weird gasket to get, the coolant flange one, which comes in that. It's one. Like I said, which is one of the oddest gaskets to come in a head gasket kit, but it comes with it. And then 2 camshaft seals. So we're going to cycle through what we're looking at. So head gasket. Now what really matters on a head gasket is it has to be a multi-layer steel head gasket. A lot of brands have solid ones, which are not very good. So I don't recommend those. I highly recommend going with multi-layer steel ones. And the way that you can tell, if you look over here by my mouse, you'll see there's 3 layers of steel right there. These are the best gaskets to get for building your motor. So we're going to click on over and keep on going. Now that's an intake manifold gasket. This is probably the most common style gasket you'll find, which is the single, like, weird pressed material. That's perfectly fine. Then the exhaust manifold gasket. This one is very important. When you shop for this one comes in 2 different styles. It does come in a multi-layer, which is what you see here, and then it also comes out with the single layer steel ones. Do not get the single layer steel ones. Those are the worst ones to go with. You want to get the multi-layer ones. They seal better and they just hold a lot better. They last longer. Now, if you're going to run a head spacer, that's a whole different scenario. Head spacers are designed a little differently. They actually have a much different construction, especially if you're doing a VR6, like a big turbo, so you want to drop your compression. Head spacers work completely different. They're a lot more reliable than just a factory gasket because they have to be more reliable. And they cost substantially a lot more. Now, here's the next one. What's going on, Ivan? What's going on, banging? So these are cam seals. These are also very, very important. Whenever you take apart your engine, these have to come out. All these other gaskets have to come off. They cannot be reused. They are one-time use gaskets. So cam seals, big plus. Get those. Pretty hard to get those wrong. Now, these are stem seals. You're going to get 20 of these, aka 20 valve engine. They're all the same size. None of them are different. What's throwing me off is that it comes with a coolant flange gasket and this weird O-ring, which I don't know what it is for, and we'll find out in just a minute. Let's see here. So that is your kit right there for $90. That's very cheap. We are shopping to build a big turbo engine, so we're trying to give you guys a complete list of all the parts that you need to assemble and get a big engine completely done. Okay, so this is actually a really good kit for $90. So let's see what it will cost us to put these parts all together on our shopping list and separately and see what it costs. Now, one thing that kit did not come with was the cam plug, which is actually something you need to get. It's very, very important. Now, there's a couple of them, so we're going to go through this. As you can see, already off the bat, a head gasket is already $35. So, kind of not the smartest thing to buy by itself because it's just not worth it. So, you're already half the cost almost of just one gasket, not including all the other gaskets. So in all honesty, get the cylinder head gasket as part of your kit to get this going. So we're at $90. Let's now get to the next item. So this is what we call the half moon seal, aka the cam plug. You can go two ways. It's $1 separately. For a Victor Renz. Rain is also another very, very good brand to purchase. I don't recommend, if a Victor Renz is half the cost, get that. OEM, it's ridiculously overpriced. I don't recommend it if you don't have to get it. Victor Renz honestly has worked for me for years. Get that, but get it in the kit. So the Victor Renz kit is $6 right here. And that comes with the gasket that you need that goes underneath the cam and the cam tensioner and plus the half moon seal. So we're already at 2 parts right now, or 2 portions. Now what I did notice on the head gasket kit, it did not come with the valve cover gasket stem seals. So that is something we have to add to your head. As part of your kit. So the coolant flange, it already comes with the kit, so we're good with that. We're going to go to the next page and see what else is in here. So coolant, we don't have to worry about anything coolant flange. So we're good there. So we're going to go back to gaskets and seals and see what else we need. So we got to go to the valve cover. Remember, we're on the head right now. Now, you'll see this has a chain tensioner kit and comes with the tool and comes with all new hardware, and that's $60. You're already taking the valve cover off and you already have the hardware. The tool you can buy separately for like $1. So this really isn't an affordable option, so we're not getting this one. Here's a Victor Renz gasket right here for $15. GSX 1000, we are shopping to get all your components together ready for a big turbo build. So all the gaskets, bearings, bushings, everything that needs to get the engine ready for a big turbo build. Because I've been getting this question asked a lot, so we're going to do the shopping list all together. Okay, so that portion is done. If you guys want to, I would definitely add the oil cap gasket. It's only $1. Might as well freshen it up. That way you don't have oil leaks on the oil cap. So head is done to a point. Let's go back to gaskets. So now we have pretty much all the head components. They're for sealing the engine. However, if you're doing a brand new engine and you want to replace all the most important parts, so the next expensive part you're gonna have to the next expensive part for the head is gonna be the chain tensioner. So we're gonna find that really quick. Let's see here. Nope, 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 nope. Timing. So let's see here. Timing belt kit. Here we go. Chain tensioner. Okay. So there's a bunch of different brands. You got to be careful here. Brands do matter in this situation drastically. Since Ian has a 2002 with an AWP, make sure that stays in the back of your head because this is what you need for that specific build. So brands, you got to be very, very careful here, guys. Brands do matter substantially in this situation. So personally, I have worked and currently have in my car a URO part right here, and it has held phenomenally. So I recommend this brand. Hudson is another brand I highly recommend to our customers. They make legit stuff. Same with Gates. Gates is also a very, very, very good reputable brand. I've never MTC's the cheap of the cheap. I don't recommend it. Vaco or Vico, whatever that brand is, I don't recommend that one either. It is the cheapest stuff. And then MT or HT, I actually heard a lot of bad reviews actually on that brand as well. So stay away, don't touch. Obviously the prices look better on other brands than others, but for a personal recommendation and what I'm going through right now, and I'm using a URO or Euro brand, I'm going to stick with that currently. But before we make that decision, we're going to open up the page and see what comes included with the part, because you might be able to see if there's something different that comes with it. Sometimes they come with the gasket, sometimes they don't. Let's see. Nope, no gasket included. Let's see here. But it does come with the tool. So, good idea. So that's $124. There is a Hudson one as well. Let's check that one out really quick. Tool, let's see here. Tool is included, so you save yourself some money there. Nothing else here that comes with it, so that's a good deal. Yeah, GT28 is a great turbo to choose. So I personally like the URO or the Hudson. Good choice. So I'm going to click on the URO. We're going to add that to our shopping cart. Now, since you're replacing the cam chain tensioner, you have to replace the cam chain. There's no if and buts about it. That chain has to be replaced. So we have to go here, go back to timing. Let's see. Timing belt, chain. It might be up. Timing chain. Here we go. So this is where another thing, again, brands make a difference. Phoebe is one of the best brands out there for OEM replacements. Again, phenomenal brand. Stick with that. If you guys have the change, go to an OEM all day. But look at the difference in price. We're looking at $165 for OEM, $34 for an aftermarket like OEM quality. And I ain't going to lie about that. It's a legit chain. So we're done with that. Now we have, let's go to our shopping cart really quick and see what we currently have for the head. So we have our head gasket set. We have our tensioner gasket, valve cover, oil cap, cam chain, the camshaft chain tensioner, and the timing chain. There's nothing else needed for the head on ECS tuning. Okay, guys? That is it. For refreshing the head. That does not factor in the upgraded aftermarket parts. We're just talking about sealing that head up. Okay, guys? So now what do we got to do next? Well, I'll show you. Now we have to go into mechanical. Okay? because now we got to add what we call, let's see here, oil systems, valve cover, cylinder head. We got to get valves. Since this guy is going to go to a bigger turbo, we need valves to support the hotter. We should be on. I think we're back. Come on. There we go. We're back. Thank you. It took a while. Okay, so on valve, I was just gonna say valves or perfect crime. Give me a minute. I'm trying to help out Ian here. So the issue that we're gonna fall across right now is valves. You need 20 of them. Okay. So you can go SuperTech or you can go Ferrera. Now, it all depends on what you're going with. So check your kits. So we're going to see here on see stock size, head diameter, factory, triple groove, glue super valves, and IE seal. So we're going to open this this kit right here and see what it comes with. This is just for intake valves. And they give you pretty much everything you need to replace all your intake side. For the price, $257. It's a little pricey because it's only the intake side. I don't see a kit for everything on ECS Tuning. So we're going to go over to Integrated Engineering afterwards, because the one thing I don't like about ECS Tuning is that they don't give you a kit with all 20 valves. It's kind of an issue that I've noticed with their website. I'm not a fan of it, so we're not going to worry about that. We're going to add that to the other shopping cart on Integrated Engineering site because it works better that way. Okay, guys? I just wanted to show you guys how their site works versus other ones. So we're done with the head for now. Now we're going to work on the bottom portion of the block. So we're going to go back to gaskets and seals. So we need an oil pan gasket. Now, oil pan gaskets, you don't actually, what's the word? You don't have an actual rubber or cork gasket. You actually make one. And the cool thing is you don't need a lot to make the oil pan gasket. It's pretty straightforward. I personally use the two on the bottom. So the Victor Renz one and the OEM one. The OEM one is like night and day, super good, best thing you can probably buy. But depending on your budget, this will make and break your scenario pretty much. So the Victor Renz one, go with that. Awesome, good quality product. Permatex, if you're on a crazy low budget, then I would go Permatex. That stuff works, but it just doesn't seal as well. If you don't know how to use it right. That's one of the big issues I've noticed with that product. Kind of the aftermarket one is a little different. So the oil level sensor ring. This gasket is very, very rarely used on Mark IVs. I haven't seen one currently right now in a long time. It's for a sensor that goes on the bottom of the pan that has a weird level. And I'm telling you this right now. You might not need it ever because most Mark IVs don't come with it in the United States. A lot of Audis have it and a lot of Passats have it. But Volkswagen, like Mark IVs, don't. It's not a common sensor built into their pans. Okay? So we're going to go back to gaskets and seals. We can either do a water pump gasket separately or we can do a whole kit. And personally, kits, 24 valves are a different motor completely. We're talking about 1.8 T's right now. You could do a kit, save yourself some money, so that's highly recommended. So okay, so we're not gonna buy a water pump gasket separately. Remember, we're sealing up the engine. Everything else that attaches to the engine is not going to be a part of this. So thermostat is not a part of it. I'm trying to think here. A bunch of other little things. We're talking about everything that assembles the engine together. Okay, guys? So we need to look for, there's a weird gasket, and I'll show you guys in just, here it is. Oil filter housing. There's one, this is for the oil filter, where the oil filter actually mounts to the engine on the oil cooler. Very, very common. Uses a giant, like 27 millimeter socket to get that guy off of there. So we got to add that to our list. So that's added. Let's see here. There's another one that's a part of the that's a part of that portion of it. So I gotta find it here. Let's see. Oil separator. I think it's under that one. No. It's a weird gasket. It looks like a little metal plate. Oh, since we're everywhere else, we might as well add these to it too. So, we're gonna. This is the block. Remember, we're working on the block now. So you want to get the front main seal. This is the whole metal portion. You don't need that. It's just a gasket. Rain right now has it for $1.95. I'm gonna go with that versus the Valvetrain. I like Rain. It's good stuff. And we're going to scroll down. Now a rear main seal. Now this one, again, is not reusable. It is a one-time use part. Choose wisely. Right here, Valvetrain is a choice. We're going to add that to our cart. So we're going to go back and we're going to scroll down. Keep going, keep going. Next page. We're going to go through all the gaskets and seals and we're going to see what we need. Let's see here. Coolant flange, already got it. Go to the next one. Exhaust manifold, intake manifold. Keep going. No, we don't need that. We got that one already. We got that one. Don't need to worry about the thermostat. Remember, that's not required for sealing your engine. Throttle body isn't a part of it. That one's not a part. These gaskets are all down the road depending on your setup. So I'm not going to talk about these. I'm looking for the really hard to find one. And it's not here. So we are going to need to shop for it in the Google so I can show you what I'm talking about. Thank you, Bing, because you ruined everything. So 1.8T oil cooler gasket, and it's a weird shape one, and I'll show you in just a minute. Nope. Here it is, right here. It's this guy right here, oil filter adapter gasket. This is one of the hardest gaskets to find. It's not a very common gasket, and again, it's very hard to find. So no, it should not matter at all if it's GLI or Gulf. They're exactly the same. So this gasket here is when you take apart the oil cooler from the block. It's a very common gasket. You have to replace it. It's one-time use. So add it to your cart. It's $3. So you're good there. So we're going to go back over here. So that's added it. So now that's the block. And these are pretty much almost all your gaskets. We got to get the pickup. So there's an oil pickup that you have to get. So you got to replace this pipe. I recommend it. You don't have to buy an oil pump. Don't worry about that. But you got to make sure you find the one that matches your car. So there's two. Looks like there's two of them. Honestly, the OEM one's actually $1 less. So add this to your cart. Yeah, I definitely agree, Tiny. I always get two of them. Or okay, now this part, the oil pickup has an actual O-ring. Now we're gonna show you right here. There's an O-ring that goes in this spot, um, and it's actually a hard to find O-ring. Um, so ECS tuning again is not the easiest one to find. So we're gonna try to find little weird things, gaskets here and there. No, let's see. No. Right here. Seals pickup tube to oil pump right there. $1.23. This is a hard to find O-ring anywhere. You cannot buy this O-ring just randomly online, guys. It's actually pretty hard to find. People don't actually, they always miss it, and then when they put their block together, there's not, what happens is that when that pickup tube is sucking oil, it'll leak from there and it will cause a pressure drop in your system. So very important to get that replaced. And there's one really hard one I'm going to show you guys. Coolant hard pipe O-ring. This one is also very, very important. It's that weird one, the really tiny one that goes across your 1.8T block. It doesn't have plastic. It's 100% metal. Trying to find it here. We might have to shop for it under cooling. So this is what a lot of people don't factor in. And it's hard to find. So lines, thermostat, coolant. We might have to shop for it. So there's a lot of pages. So coolant, hoses, lines, maybe under lines. Here we go. Let's see here. No. More likely it's this one right here, the 20.3. It's a really tiny O-ring. It's about an inch round. I might be very wrong, but we're going to add it to our list. Okay, so now we got the oil pan gasket. We got the oil pickup tube. Now there's where your oil pump runs. There's a chain. There's a little tensioner on there. So we need to look up oil pump, and then we're gonna look for the actual tensioner right here. Oil pump chain tensioner. This is another part that wears down substantially when not changed properly. So for that part, you're looking about $2. It's a super cheap part. Now, if you want to, you can replace the chain. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to change the chain on that. Since we're trying to refresh everything, so there's not many options. There's only 2 brands. I've never heard of this one, and I never heard of ET. So I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna bite the bullet and go with it. So that right there is everything you need for servicing your oil pump. Okay, we are officially at $376 on just gaskets and a couple miscellaneous parts. The most expensive being the cam chain tensioner and the head gasket kit. Okay, and your engine's still not done, guys. This is why we have to shop like this and we take our time. Now, there are ways to get around this. You just got to learn how to shop before you buy. Before you pull that trigger on buying parts, shop. until you can find what you want at a much lower price than what you shop for already to begin with. So now we got oil pump. We got the bottom of the block sealed up. We got the rear main seal, the front main seal. We got the oil pump, O-ring, oil pan. We got the oil cooler, the oil filter gasket. We got now on the head. We got the head gasket. We got all the head components and sealing components. So now your block and your head is sealed. Now we're gonna go work inside of the engine. Okay, this is where all your money is gonna go, guys. We're gonna move on over here now to integrated engineering now for shopping on engine building. So we're gonna start pretty much here at engine build parts. This is very, very vital. You're gonna shop for 1.8T components, okay, guys? If you're not gonna go with bigger wrist pins, factory wrist pins on these cars are 19 millimeters. The 20 millimeter wrist pins came on Audis and very, very, very few GTIs and Jettas or GLIs. So by default, I'm gonna say it's gonna have the what's it called, the 19 millimeter wrist pin. So that's what we're gonna go with. So you got to factor that in. Keep that in your head. So the first thing we're gonna get is rods. Now these rods you can shop for. There's different ones you can choose from integrated engineering. We're going factory. We're not going to go bigger than factory. We're not going to, how can we say this? We're not going to modify the cylinder portion or the cylinder size. We're all assuming that everything's staying factory. Okay, guys? 100% factory. So if we click on the connecting rods, personally, I recommend rifle drilling them. So making sure they're rifle drilled. So that puts us at $500.71. And we got to scroll down and read our information. These are for 20 millimeter wrist pins, so these do not work on our engine. So we can't use these. And yeah, see right here, 144.20. The 20 is the wrist pin on it. So can't go with those, unfortunately. So we're gonna scroll down here and look for the ones that actually work for our car. Let's see. Here we go. Here they are. 144.19. These are factory wrist pin style. So we're gonna add one set of these to the cart. And how you know is if you scroll down, it should say drop in rod 19 millimeter tapered wrist pin. Okay, for factory 1.8T AWP engines. So we're going to add that to the cart. Now, what's really nice about integrated engineering, they provide ARP hardware for every single rod. So you don't need to buy the hardware for it, okay? So factor that into your, subtract that from your budget. Now, the next very, very vital portion of this is bearings. So I went to Catco coated bearings for my rods, and they're right here, calico coated ACL main bearings, $175. These are the main ones, pretty much for your block, not your rod bearings, but these are actually for the main bearings for the crank. So I got these. So assuming that Ian's probably gonna follow my recommendations, we're not going oversized. Remember, we're thinking that everything is gonna be factory specifications, so we're sticking to factory specs. So we're going to add that to the cart. Okay, now those are main bearings. Now we need rod bearings. So you do need a set of thrust washers. So those come into the cart. No matter what, these you have to add these. You need them. So now we got to look for rod bearings. So there's the Mayo one, the Mayo Motorsports. I don't think Ian's trying to go and break records, so I'm not gonna go that route. Trying to go crazy high-end horsepower. I'm probably gonna go somewhere a little bit Right here, like these right here, the calico rod bearing set. This is probably the best option here. So now we got rod bearings, main bearings. Now you need we need hardware. So once you start building the engine, there's some bolts that have to be replaced. The crank bolt right here is a one-time use bolt OEM, but the aftermarket one is multi-use. I recommend this one because this goes on a lot harder and presses in that crank gear so much harder for you, so you have less chances of that gear failing on you. So we're gonna go with that bolt. Highly recommended. We're gonna scroll down here. So this is the next cost right here. Is your head bolts. There's studs and there's actually bolts. Personally, just go to studs. They're a lot easier to install. They're a lot easier just to work with. So get your stud kit. Now, you can go with the billet cam gear, but again, Ian's not going crazy high horsepower, so I don't recommend it. So we're going to scroll down here. We're going to go to the next page. Now, you can go with heavy duty flywheel bolts. I don't recommend it. We're not going crazy horsepower, so it's not needed. I'm going to scroll down. Where are they? Here it is. Cam gear bolt. This is another great upgrade. So we're going to add this to your cart. So we're going to see if there's anything else we need to work with. All right, so we're pretty much done with the main portion of the block. Now we need to shop for piston rings, and we need what's up? Piston rings, main bolt hardware, and what is it? The oh my goodness, there's one other part. The main cap hardware, piston rings, and valves, and pretty much the engine's done for building. So let me find them here. Give me just a second, guys. Here, we gotta find it. These are all kits. Okay, so Super Tech has a little thing down here for valves, and you can add triple groove, which is the factory stuff. So that's what we're going to work with. What's going on, Angel? And they're 21. And these are for intake valves. So we need to add how many intake valves? 3, 6, 9, 12 valves for intake. And then exhaust valves. And then we're going to look for exhaust valves. Let's see here. Right here, stock size, stainless, triple groove. And it's what? So 12, and then so 3, 6, 9, 12, and then 2, 4, 6, 8 of those guys. You don't need the keepers because they already come pretty much with for your engine, so you don't need to fork out that money. All that's left now is your timing components, and you're done. So let's go check our shopping cart. We're at $1,500 for all our internal components. That's actually very, very affordable. $1,500, guys. And that makes you pretty much a solid 500 horsepower engine with no problems. Okay? But we still haven't finished our other list over here at ECS Tuning. We need piston rings for our 1.18. Come on. Now, in my engine currently, I use this brand called Goitis. I don't know how to pronounce it. So this is the brand. That's a set of wheels, right? This brand right here is what I use. So we need 4 of those. And that's pretty much it. You don't need anything else to seal that motor up. So now we got piston rings. We got all our rods. We need main cap hardware. That's... Oh, no. Come on. Let's see if it shows up. Come on. Oh, come on, ECS tuning. Killing me. Let's see if Integrated Engineering has them for us. Let's see here. Okay, so it's not me going crazy, so it's their website. That sucks. Crap. Yeah, their website's something up with it right now. Life is doing pretty good, Angel. Thank you. Let's see if I can get the hardware here. Because all we need now is just the bolts for the main cap. And that's it. So give me a second. What's going on, Luis? Maybe here. No, see, there's billet. We don't need billet. Yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, we're gonna have to. Something's up with the website. So currently, too many people spinning that wheel. So currently we are at. We're gonna scroll down here, and no, not here. We're gonna go to the shopping cart, if it'll let me load it. Oh no, the website's broken. We were at like $300 and something, and I added another $120. So I'm saying, oh my goodness, their website's so broken. So I'm assuming another $500. Unfortunately, the website's broken. So for total cost, pretty much of hardware, internals. And these are just parts. Remember, guys, just parts we're talking about is about $2,000. Okay. Now think about, we got to add in another $200 because the timing belt kit is like another $200, $220. So I'm gonna say $2,200, $2,300 in total. Now the $700 you got left, that's gonna be for machining, doing your machine work on the block, the head, and what else. Now remember, Black Friday is coming and Cyber Monday is right around the corner as well. So if you guys got the time to shop on those days, highly recommended right now. If you guys are trying to build a 400 to 500 horsepower engine, this is the time to do it right now, guys, because it's cheap and it's gonna be very awesome. Again, Tiny, we're only trying to get into building the engine itself. That does not factor in everything else around it. And the reason why I say that, some people are going to start with the engine and then save up money and then keep adding on top of that. That's what my goal was for Ian. It was to add on top of that down the road to have more. And that's, I think, will be the good way. I think that'll be a great way for anyone wanting to build an engine. And you'd be surprised. There's some machine shops that probably offer you good deal. I can definitely give you a good recommendation down the road with my buddies at Paradise Motorsports. They love me. I bring a lot of business to them, and we probably get you a good deal on that machine show, the machining. But the catch is that we recommend that you take apart the entire engine at home and give them pretty much a bare block for them to do all the machine work for you. That way we can get stuff done a lot quicker, and they will do a good job in all the machine work for us. So I think this, everybody, for you guys, this is exactly the part list that I bought for my Mark IV. I mean, part for part is identical for my big turbo 1.8T in every single way, and it has lasted over a year with over 30,000 miles without a single hiccup. Okay? It still runs and drives like a freaking beast every single day, and I drive the crap out of it. Yeah, exactly, Tiny. It makes our life easier, and it's cheaper, and it just works better. So now I'm going to answer a couple questions, so give me a second here. Hopefully, Ian, that helped you a lot, because it's better than me writing you a list. That way you just have this. This video will be saved online, and you guys can reference it over and over and over. Obviously, if you guys are trying to go bigger and make more power, true exhaust. Okay. Perfect crime. What do you mean? I'm a little confused. I know. But remember, Ian, shop. I can... a lot of these parts we can probably get through AutoZone. Same brands through my discount there. And it'll probably save you another $100 to $200. So we can do that. We can shop for a lot of this stuff, and you don't have to buy immediately. Let me go check ECS for tuning really quick. Give me a second here. Awesome. Yeah, I came back. So let's finish up our list here. So we're at $376, $1,500. We're at $1,800. Not bad. Oh, you changed your exhaust. Okay, that's the you can get that from the dealer. Go to the dealer and you can get the studs from there. Perfect crime. They're like $1, I think, or $2. They're not very expensive. They're actually a pretty common bolt from them. So we need to get main cap. Let's see here. Oh, see, we don't want that. Let's see, engine, mechanical. We're not gonna get anything through here. We don't need connecting rods. Bolt, connecting rod, bolt. Go to the next page. There you go. So main, no, that's not, that's head. I'm sorry. That's not the right one. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find this. Okay, here. Main bearing bolts. So these are very important. Hold on. So here they are. Obviously, it looks like ARP makes a good kit for it. So they run $100, $110 for all of them. Versus, let's see, because you need 2 per stud. I think it's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think. So if we did 12 here, it's about like, so it's half the price for OEM stuff. So personally, I would probably just do the OEM just because it'll save you some money. And what's funny, The Volkswagen branded ones are $3.86. Phoebe is, like I said, another brand that I personally like, and that's 95 cents. So I would go with that. Save myself some cash. So 12 you need. So we're at 388. Now we're going to add the timing kit. So let's go to that. Since we're going to be already there, we might as well just finish up the engine right here. The timing belt kit. Do not buy pulleys. They're a complete waste of money. That's it on that subject. Don't ask why. They're just garbage. Don't waste your money on it. Just get yourself a complete kit. I definitely, the gates. The racing belt is also a waste of money. My 2 cents. Don't buy it. It's up to you guys if you want to. I don't recommend it. So it's up to you guys. Let's see here. But check your kit. So if you're going to look at your kit, see what it comes with. Don't buy the coolant from them. Just get a coolant from the dealer or find someone that can hook you up. Me. So let's see here. Later, Angel. So we're gonna go. Let's see, timing belt ultimate. Let's look up to see what this kit comes with. Let's see. We're gonna look at brands because that's what really matters. Bolts are OEM. Crank. They're gonna give you a crank seal, which is honestly. Stock head bolt removal tool. Yeah, I would definitely add that to your part list. Let's see here. Accessory belt, tensioner, timing belt, which is a Continental good belt. That's what I actually use personally on my car. Crankshaft gear bolt. Don't need it. Water pump, timing, but it'd probably be cheaper to get it with it. Crank seal. So they give you all these seals. But it's $200. It's kind of one of those things. It's like you're gonna have some couple spare parts in there. Let's check another kit and see if we can save some money. Probably because we don't need it as much. Here you go for $100. Let's see what we got here. It's got everything but the water pump. Kind of lame. Water pump's like $40-50. So it's kind of annoying, honestly. Let's see here. So yeah, you might end up going with the kit for 204. But for 244, what do we get here? Let's see here. For 244, okay, so we get metal parts. So a metal thermostat, which is honestly, I don't care for. I mean, mine plastic ones lasted a whole lifetime. But you're paying pretty much for that casted metal part. So yeah, the $204 one is looking much better. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want the racing belt, go for it. But I don't work it. I'm not a big fan of the racing belt. Some people like it, some people don't. I personally don't care for it, so I don't recommend it. I mean, I've had issues with mine. So I'm not going to recommend it very much. So this guy right here for $204 is probably your best bet. If you put this kit together, you're probably going to spend a little bit more. No, I'm not going to put a heavy-duty cast aluminum part. So we're looking at a total of $593 for the entire build, guys. For all your gaskets and ECS tuning. And then all your hardware through all your internals through integrated engineering. So $1,500 there, plus $600, you're at $1,100 for everything. If you think about that, that is not bad at all, guys. That's a legit price if you think about what you're getting out of this entire build that you guys are going to do. So not bad at all. So what I'm going to do is give you guys, I guess, let's see if we can do a shopping list here. No. So we're going to do this. We're going to zoom in. right here. Here we go. This is good. So you guys can see the all the items that we're doing through ECS tuning. So we got the head gasket kit, the cam tensioner kit, the valve cover, oil cap, cam chain tensioner, the new cam chain, the gaskets, oil cooler ring, the front crank seal, the rear main seal, the oil filter adapter gasket. This one again, guys, is a very, very hard to find gasket if you don't know what you're looking for. The oil pickup tube, the oil pickup tube O-ring. This is the O-ring for the oil, the hard coolant pipe that goes on your block. The oil pump tensioner, chain tensioner, a new oil pump chain. The hex bolts. These bolts right here are for your main bearing caps. Very, very important, guys. Very, very important. The last but not least part of your entire kit is the ultimate timing belt kit. Everything you need to seal up a 1.8T. So we're going to go over now to integrated engineering. I'm going to see if this will let me zoom in. Okay, awesome. So first things first, you're going to see on the list is the Super Tick exhaust valves. Stainless steel with stock size grooves. Very, very important. You're going to get 8 of those. I'm going to scroll down. The Super Tick intake ones. You're going to get 12 of those. You're going to get the ARP cam gear bolt. Very, very important, guys, for your cam gear, because you're going to be making power. You're going to be spinning that harder. You don't want to use the factory bolt. You want to use something that goes on a lot tighter and that won't stretch and fall off. Very, very important. The main stud kit. Now, this kit is for your head. Okay, guys, remember that. This is for your head. This is what you pretty much bolt together your head. Okay. ARP, the crank bolt. Very, very important. Your rod bearings. OEM thrust washers. These always have to be replaced once the crank is removed. And then the main bearings. Drop-in rods with 19 millimeter wrist pins, guys. Very, very important. 19 millimeter wrist pins. Okay. And that is your entire list from integrated engineering. Now, there's other stuff you guys can add. But again, this whole entire video or shopping experience is legitimately only for us to build a very, very reliable 400 plus horsepower engine. Okay, we're only talking about the engine. We're not talking about radiators. We're not talking about hoses and all the stuff that goes around the engine. Okay, this is just the engine, guys. Now, does anyone have any questions? No, you're welcome, Perfect Crime. This is what it's all about, guys. It's all about helping each other and getting good advice and how to put stuff together. And it's honestly, it's you guys, you would be surprised how many people ask me for a shopping list, and then when I give them a shopping list, they're like, "Oh, why is that so expensive?" Because everything that comes off an engine is one-time use. You cannot reuse most of the stuff that's in an engine. You just can't do it. It's unsafe, will cause problems, and will cause a very odd wear if you do decide to use it. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in this awesome long 1 hour live stream to go shopping and get you guys the right stuff. I guarantee you no one else does this for you guys, and I appreciate it. Again, if you guys go on VR, okay. I agree. One day, right? Luis Martinez, I would love to do a VR refresh, but I need a VR engine to do it. So I don't have a VR, so I really can't. You know, it sucks. I honestly does. I do. I think it does suck, and I wish I can get a VR and build a VR, but then I don't have a car to put it in. It's one of those things that it sucks. I can't just build an engine and just be like, oh, there's an engine. I don't know if it works. I don't even know if I did the job right. It's one of those things. I want a VR6. I want to get a car that has a VR. I want to build 2 different style VRs. I want to build a high compression, and I want to build a turbo VR. And I want you guys to see and how it works. I would love that, Luis. I'm down for that. I would definitely do that if you're willing to do it. You don't even have to pay me. You just got to bring me that engine. That's it. I don't have a stock KO4. I never, I tell you this, I never like to charge people unless I have to do a lot of work. And then, yeah, I have to charge you guys a little bit. But I don't charge a lot. I mean, I'm pretty realistic. Honestly, I'm pretty realistic if I do have to charge. And it's very cheap, Okay, so thank you for tuning in. And I appreciate everyone. Hopefully Ian got the most out of this. Hopefully you definitely enjoyed that as much as I did. So if you guys have any other questions, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm a little tired, but if you guys do have questions, please feel free to ask right now. If not, deuces. Deuces. Oh. There. Last thing, when you get the mill up and running, will you make a rear brakes for the airport calipers? Maybe, I might do that. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. To have you. Good night. Let me know when we can get together and to discuss. Yes. Yes, Ian. I want to take your money and I want to build an engine. Okay. It's okay, Perfect Crime. Don't worry about it, buddy. It's all right, man. Luis, I missed my Porsche. There's I wanna reverse engineer a couple brands, a couple calipers, because a lot of companies are gonna stop making them. Are gonna stop making carriers. So there's a couple brands out there that I want to get, so people can get big brake kits on their front and rear and make them affordable. So it is something I will, how can I say, do in the future. Like again, I just have to get some of the brands. I got to find these carriers, reverse engineer them, and design them, and then make them. My buddy Ben is actually the guy who's the engineer that I will be working with to be designing a lot of cool parts coming, guys. And the goal is to make parts that people don't make anymore, and we're gonna make them because it's gonna be dope. And I want to have cool stuff for Mark 1 through 4, and then eventually working my way up to the newer cars. But in all honesty, I don't care very much about newer cars besides anything Mark 4 and older. I don't care. Why? Because the newer cars just don't do it for me. They don't make me happy. They don't have character. They don't have soul. They're just cars, and to me, I'm not a fan of it. I like my car that goes clickety clank and makes noises when I put it in gear and step on it, and I like that. It's such a great feeling to be one with machine, and you can feel the road and just be a part of it all. It's just such a great feeling. You don't understand. If you do, thank you, because that's why I do what I do. It's so fun. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been an awesome, wonderful night shopping. So thank you, and we're going to have a wonderful night, and I'm going to get some sleep. And I'll see you guys next live stream. And we actually got some DIYs finally coming up. It's been sucky because we've been so busy with the shop and other stuff going. So it's been a long day. So thank you again, everyone. Much love. And as always, here at Pinche Al's Garage, if you see another dubber on the road, give them a thumbs up. Tell them they're dope. Tell them, whatever. Just respect one another. And as always here, we're going to break, fix, and repeat because that's what Pinche Al's does. And we're never going to stop. Peace out, everyone. Have a wonderful night. And to some of you guys out there, have a wonderful morning. Peace.